All right, cool. Well, real quickly, just before we jump into this practice together, for those of you I haven't met, my name is Kierstin, and I'm a trauma-informed yoga therapist, which means a lot of my work is inviting individuals to really tune back into the cues their body offers them and learning to widen their window of tolerance. So, with that being said, I hope today feels like a restorative and nourishment practice or whatever you need it to be. If you received the email, you got a little information on how everything is an invitation and everything is a choice. But I would just like to remind you that you know your body best. So as we move through this practice, if we're in a shape or pausing or I'm inviting a certain type of breath, if you need to change that for your body and how you're feeling today, you are more than welcome to do so. On the description, I also called this a yin and or restorative practice. And that's because every time you show up, I want you to feel like you have the opportunity to listen to your body and find what works best for you. So in my yin trainings, I was always taught that the shapes should feel like 70% effort, which feels really nice on some days. And then some days we just want to stack on the props and allow ourselves to be fully supported. So I'll offer some suggestions. If you want to add more or less support, you are more than welcome to do so. And with all that being said, we can begin the practice together, becoming present together through a little bit of movement. So I'll be making my way into a tabletop shape. I already have a blanket out on my mat, but if you'd like to add any support beneath your hands or your wrists, you're more than welcome to do so. As you're coming into this shape, a gentle reminder that mindfulness is our ability to be present moment to moment without judgment. We're coming fully online with our breath, with our body in this moment, letting any outside distractions fade to the background. Fully connecting here as you turn your fingertips out to the sides of your mat. You can move a little side to side or rock back and forth. Connecting to your upper body, one breath at a time. And from here, we begin to expand, which could look like continuing to explore the wrist or matching up cat cows with your breath every time you take a breath in, lifting your chin, creating some space for your chest. And every time you take a breath out, rounding and reversing that motion. Just a few more breaths of movement. Feel free to find a little freedom in your movement. And noticing exploration of your lower body is needed. You can circle your ankles, extend your legs. Before we settle into stillness, finding some movement for the next breath. 3, and 1. We'll settle into our first shape together. It will be a child's pose. You can bring your big toes to touch and then create some space between your knees. How much is up to you? I like to bring a bolster beneath the center of my body for support and then extend my arms forward. A couple options here is to add a block or a blanket between your heels and your glutes for some extra support. Your arms can stay extended or you can bend your elbows and create a pillow for your head. We'll be holding these shapes for around 5 to 7 minutes. These first few breaths settle into support. The support of your physical body, the support of the props. And the book we're diving into today is called The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. I'll be reading this in between, guiding you through changing shapes. And starting with the introduction. Although this book is titled The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, It could also be called the seven spiritual laws of life, because these are the same principles that nature uses to create everything into material existence. Everything we can see, hear, smell, taste, or touch. In my book, Creating Affluence, Wealth Consciousness in the Field of All Possibilities, I have outlined the steps to wealth consciousness based on true understanding of the works of nature. The seven spiritual laws of success form the essence of this teaching. When this knowledge is incorporated in your consciousness, it will give you the ability to create unlimited wealth with effortless ease and to experience success in every endeavor. Success in life could be defined as the continued expansion of happiness and the progressive realization of worthy goals. Success is the ability to fulfill your desires with effortless ease. And yet, success includes the creation of wealth, has always been considered a process that requires hard work. And it is often considered to be at the expense of others. We need a more spiritual approach to success and to affluence, which is the abundant flow of all good things to you. With the knowledge and practice of spiritual law, we put ourselves in harmony with nature and create with carefreeness, joy, and love. There are many aspects to success. Material wealth is only one component. Moreover, success is a journey, not a destination. Material abundance in all of its expression happens to be one of those things that makes the journey more enjoyable. But success also includes good health, energy and enthusiasm for life, fulfilling relationships, creative freedom, emotional and psychological stability, a sense of well-being, and a peace of mind. We'll stay in child's pose for a few moments longer. I'll offer a bit of silence here as you begin to become curious about what success means to you. Slowly, one breath at a time, press your way back into a tabletop. Sending your legs out in front of you and bringing the soles of your feet together to create a diamond or a butterfly shape, whichever feels best for your body today. Right, tenting up on fingertips as you bring them behind you. A little movement here before we find stillness. Try to tap your top knee or your left knee to your right knee. Beautiful. Coming back through center in this butterfly shape. And then tapping your opposite knee. You're moving from side to side as quickly or as slowly as you'd like. Eventually, we'll pause here together in this butterfly shape, remembering that props are always available to you. You can take a rolled up blanket or a bolster on the tops of your feet so you can lean forward. Sometimes I really enjoy blocks beneath my knee. We'll begin to explore the shape and find where you'd like to land for the next few moments. Even with the experience of all these things, we will remain unfulfilled unless we nurture the seed of divinity within us. In reality, we are all divinity in disguise. And the gods and the goddesses in embryo that are contained within us seek to be fully materialized. True success is therefore the experience of the miraculous. It is the unfolding of the divinity within us. It is the perception of divinity wherever we go, in whatever we perceive, in the eyes of a child, in the beauty of a flower, in the flight of a bird. When we begin to experience our lives as the miraculous expressions of divinity, not occasionally, but all the time, then we will know the true meaning of success. Before defining the 7 spiritual laws, let us understand the concept of law. Law is the process by which the unmanifest becomes the manifest. It's the process by which the observer becomes the observed. It's the process by which the seer becomes the scenery. It's the process through which the dreamer manifests the dream. All of creation, everything that exists in the physical world is the result of the unmanifest transforming itself into the manifest. Everything that we behold comes from the unknown. Our physical body, the physical universe, anything and everything that we can perceive through our senses is the transformation of the unmanifest, unknown, and invisible into the manifest, known, and visible. The physical universe is nothing other than a self curving back within itself to experience itself as spirit, mind, and physical matter. In other words, all process of creation are process through which we, the self, or divinity, expresses itself. Consciousness in motion expresses itself as the objects of the universe in the eternal dance of life. The source of all creation is divinity, or the spirit. The process of creation is divinity in motion, or the mind. And the object of creation is the physical universe, which includes the physical body. These 3 components of reality, spirit, mind, and body, or observer, the process of observing, and the observed, are essentially the same thing. They all come from the same place, the field of pure potentiality, which is purely unmanifest. The physical law of the universe are actually this whole process of divinity in motion, or consciousness in motion. When we understand these laws and apply them in our lives, anything we want can be created, because the same laws that nature uses to create a forest or a galaxy or a star or a human body can also bring about the fulfillment of our deepest desires. Now let's go over the 7 spiritual laws of success and see how we can apply them in our life. Law 1, the law of pure potentiality. The source of all creation is pure consciousness, pure potential seeking expression from the unmanifest to the manifest. And when we realize that our true self is one of pure potential, we align with the power that manifests everything in the universe. Before we dive any deeper, I invite you to roll back up vertebra by vertebra of your spine, allowing your hands to offer your knees some support as you pull them in towards each other. If you notice any tension or discomfort, you might find a couple windshield wipers from side to side. And then in your own time, you can extend one leg, doesn't matter which one, will move through both sides. The other foot can stay in this half butterfly shape unless that causes discomfort for your knee. Again, the option to fold forward, remembering that with yin, we're only giving 70% effort. So make sure there's some support system or prop around you, even if it's bending your elbows and only lowering over your thighs. So again, the bolster is one of my favorite things to use in this class. You can bring blocks beneath your bolster so it rises up and you don't have to lean as far forward. Taking a couple moments to get settled in this shape, whatever it looks like for you. In the beginning, there was neither existence nor non-existence. All this world was unmanifest energy. The one breathed without breath by its own power. Nothing else was there. The first spiritual law of success is the law of pure potential. This law is based on the facts that we are, in our essential state, pure consciousness. Pure consciousness is pure potential. It is the field of all possibilities and infinite creativity. Pure consciousness is our spiritual essence. Being infinite and unbound, it is also pure joy. Other attributes of the consciousness are pure knowledge, infinite silence, perfect balance, invincibility, simplicity, and bliss. This is our essential nature. Our essential nature is one of pure potentiality. When you discover your essential nature and know who you really are, in that knowing itself is the ability to fulfill any dream you have. Because you are the eternal possibility, the immeasurable potential of all that was, is, and will be. The law of pure potentiality could also be called the law of unity, because underlying the infinite diversity of life is the unity of a one all-pervasive spirit. There is no separation between you and this field of energy. The field of pure potentiality is your own self. And the more you experience your true nature, the closer you are to this field. The experience of the self or self-referral means that our internal reference point is our own spirit and not the objects of our experience. The opposite of self-referral is object referral. In object referral, we are always influenced by objects outside of the self, which includes situations, circumstances, people, and things. In object referral, we are constantly seeking the approval of others. Our thinking and our behavior are always in anticipation of a response. It is therefore fear-based. In object referral, we also feel an intense need to control things. We feel an intense need for external power, the need for approval, the need to control things, and the need for external power are needs that are based on fear. This kind of power is not the power of pure potential or the power of the self or real power. When we experience the power of the self, there is an absence of fear. There is no compulsion to control and no struggle for approval or external power. In object referral, your internal reference point is your ego. The ego, however, is not who you really are. The ego is your self-image. It is your social mask. It is the role you are playing. Your social mask thrives on approval. It wants to control, and it is sustained by power because it lives in fear. Your true self, which is your spirit, your soul, is completely free of those things. It is immune to criticism. It is unfearful of any challenge. And it feels beneath no one. And yet, it is also humble and feels superior to no one because it recognizes that everyone else is the same self, the same spirit in different disguises. If and when you're ready, slowly make your way out of this shape. Before moving to the other side, if you want to counter the forward folding by twisting or lifting your fingertips up towards the ceiling and then back, feel free to do so. And then we'll land in this shape on the other side. So one foot comes in towards your groin, the other leg extends. Yep, beautiful. Finding any support you need on this side. And allowing your mind to follow your body into this stillness as you fold forward and settle into your shape. That is the essential difference between object referral and self-referral. In self-referral, you experience your true being, which is unfearful of any challenge, has respect for all people, and feels beneath no one. Self-power is therefore true power. Power based on object referral, however, is a false power. Being ego-based power, it lasts only as long as the object of reference is there. If you have a certain title, if you're the president of the country or the chairman of a corporation, or if you have a lot of money, the power you enjoy goes with the title, with the job, with the money. Ego-based power will only last as long as those things last. As soon as the title, the job, the money go away, so does the power. Self-power, on the other hand, is permanent. because it is based on the knowledge of the self. And there are certain characteristics of self-power. It draws people to you, and it also draws things you want to you. It magnetizes people, situations, and circumstances to support your desires. This is also called support from the law of nature. It is the support of divinity. It is the support that comes from being in the state of grace. Your power is such that you enjoy a bond with people, and people enjoy a bond with you. Your power is that of bonding, a bonding that comes from true love. How can we apply the law of pure potential, the field of all possibilities, to our lives? If you want to enjoy the benefits of the field of pure potential, if you want to make full use of the creativity which is inherent in pure consciousness, then you have to have access to it. One way to access the field is through the daily practice of silence, meditation, and non-judgment. Spending time in nature will also give you access to the qualities inherent in the field of infinite creativity, freedom, and bliss. Practicing silence means making a commitment to take a certain amount of time to simply be. Experiencing silence means periodically withdrawing from the activities of speech. It also means periodically withdrawing from such activities as watching television, listening to the radio, or reading a book. If you never give yourself the opportunity to experience silence, this creates turbulence in your internal dialogue. Set aside a little time every once in a while to experience silence, or simply make a commitment to maintain silence for a certain period each day. You could do it for 2 hours, or if that seems like a lot, do it for a 1 hour period. If every once in a while experiencing silence for an extended period of time, such as a full day, 2 days, maybe even a week. What happens when you go into this experience of silence? Initially, your internal dialogue becomes even more turbulent. You feel an intense need to say things. I've known people who go absolutely crazy the first day or two when they commit themselves to an extended period of silence. A sense of urgency and anxiety suddenly comes over them. But as they stay with the experience, their internal dialogue begins to quiet. And soon the silence becomes profound. This is because after a while, the mind gives up. It realizes that there is no point in going around and around if you, the self, the spirit, the choice maker, are not going to speak. Then, as the eternal dialogue quiets, you begin to experience the stillness of the field of pure potential. Once again, taking your time here, coming out of this shape. If you'd like to twist or find some intuitive movement, feel free to do so. Eventually, we'll meet with both legs extended. This will be our last forward fold of the practice. You can choose how much or how little space is between your feet. And if you'd like to bend your knees or bring some support beneath them, feel free to do so. Right. In the first part of this shape, we will experience silence here together. So as you find your support, your bolster, pillows, your physical body, begin to find an anchor as well. something to support you through this time in silence. When the mind begins to wander, you become distracted. How do you center with self? For some people, it's noticing the natural rhythm of their breath and the way their body supports them. For others, you might find one spot to focus in on or become present with the coolness or the warmth of the air around you. Once again, I'm going to offer some space for silence here. See if you can connect. We'll continue to stay in this shape here. Maybe just taking a moment to become curious, remembering we're exploring through the lens of curiosity. In those 2 minutes of silence, what, if anything, did you notice? Was there comfort, discomfort, distractions, present thinking? No right or wrong answer, just an opportunity to notice what a few moments in silence is like for you. Practicing silence periodically as it is convenient to you is one way to experience the law of pure potential. Spending time each day in meditation is another. Ideally, you should meditate at least 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the evening. Through meditation, you will learn to experience the field of pure silence and pure awareness. In that field of pure silence is the field of infinite correlation, the field of infinite organizing power, the ultimate ground of creation where everything is inseparably connected with everything else. In the fifth spiritual law, the law of intention and desire, you will see how you can introduce a faint impulse of intention in this field, and the creation of your desire will come about spontaneously. But first, you have to experience stillness. Stillness is the first requirement for manifesting your desire, because in stillness lies your connection to the field of pure potential that can orchestrate an infinity of details for you. Imagine throwing a little stone into a still pond and watching it ripple. Then after a while, when the ripple settles down, perhaps you throw another little stone. That's exactly what you do when you go into the field of pure silence and introduce your intention. In this silence, even the faintest intention will ripple across the underlying ground of universal consciousness. which connects everything with everything else. But if you do not experience stillness and consciousness, if your mind is like a turbulent ocean, you could throw the Empire State Building into it and you wouldn't notice a thing. In the Bible is the expression, be still and know that I am God. This can only be accomplished through meditation. In your own time, coming out of this shape and finding any movement your body intuitively needs. Knowing that this is your time for you. Don't let my words rush you. You can spend as much or as little time with free movement as you'd like. You're ready to move into your next shape. You'll be lowering all the way down to your back. I'm going to stay seated just to make sure you can hear me. Coming all the way onto your back, bending your knees up towards the ceiling, feet plant against the support of the earth. Yeah, beautiful. You can windshield wipe your knees from side to side or hug your knees into your chest, rocking or creating circles. What feels pleasant for your body today? When you're ready to root into stillness, into your next shape, both knees fall to the right. You can stack support between your knees or beneath your bottom knee. And then arms can extend or stay close to your body. Let your gaze land in one spot. Another way to access the field of pure potentiality is through the practice of non-judgment. Judgment is the constant evaluation of things as right or wrong, good or bad. When you are constantly evaluating, classifying, labeling, analyzing, you create a lot of turbulence in your internal dialogue. This turbulence constricts the flow of energy between you and the field of pure potential. You literally squeeze the gap between thoughts. The gap is your connection to the field of pure potential. It is that state of pure awareness, that silent space between thoughts, that inner stillness that connects you to true power. And when you squeeze the gap, you squeeze your connection to the field of pure potentiality and infinite creativity. There is a prayer in A Course in Miracles that states, today I shall not judge nothing that occurs. Non-judgment creates silence in your mind. It is a good idea, therefore, to begin your day with that statement. I shall judge nothing that occurs. And throughout the day, remind yourself of that statement each time you catch yourself judging. If practicing this procedure for the whole day seems too difficult, then you may simply say to yourself, for the next 2 hours, I won't judge anything. Or for the next hour, I will experience non-judgment. And then you can extend it gradually. Through silence, through meditation, and through non-judgment, you will access the first law, the law of pure potentiality. Once you start doing that, you can add a fourth component to this practice, and that is regularly spending time in direct communion with nature. Spending time in nature enables you to sense the harmonious interaction of all the elements and forces of life and gives you a sense of unity with all of life. Whether it be a stream, a forest, a mountain, a lake, or the seashore, That connection with nature's intelligence will also help you access the field of pure potential. You must learn to get in touch with the innermost essence of your being. This true essence is beyond the ego. It is fearless. It is free. And it is immune to criticism. It does not fear any challenge. It is beneath no one, superior to no one, and full of magic, mystery, and enchantment. Access to your true essence will also give you insight into the mirror of relationship, because all relationship is a reflection of your relationship with yourself. For example, if you have guilt, fear, and insecurity over money or success or anything else, then these are reflections of guilt, fear, and insecurity as basic aspects of your personality. No amount of money or success will solve these basic problems of existence. Only intimacy with the self will bring about true healing. And when you are grounded in the knowledge of your true self, when you really understand your true nature, you will never feel guilty, fearful, or insecure about money or affluence or fulfilling your desires. Because you will realize that the essence of all material wealth is life energy, and pure potential is your intrinsic nature. Bringing your feet back towards the ground as knees point towards the ceiling, or hugging knees into chest to find your own free movement for the next few breaths. Staying fully connected to the body, its messages, and how it would like to move forward. With that being said, moving for as long as you'd like, and then eventually finding stillness on the other side. Once again, allowing your body to be supported, whether that be acknowledging the earth beneath you or finding a prop. As you gain more and more access to your true nature, you will also spontaneously receive creative thoughts, because the field of pure potential is also the field of infinite creativity and pure knowledge. Franz Kafka, an Austrian philosopher and poet, once said, "You need not to leave your room. Remain sitting at your table and listen. You need not even listen. Simply wait. You need not even wait. Just learn to become quiet and still and solitary. The world will freely offer itself to you to be unmasked. It has no choice. It will roll in ecstasy at your feet. The affluence of the universe, the lavish display and abundance of the universe is an expression of the creative mind of nature. The more tuned in you are to the mind of nature, the more you have access to its infinite, unbound creativity. But first, you have to go beyond the turbulence of your internal dialogue and connect with the abundant, affluent, infinite, creative mind. And then you create the possibility of dynamic activity, while at the same time carrying the stillness of the eternal, unbounded creative mind. This exquisite combination of silence, unbound, infinite mind, along with dynamic, bounded individual mind, is the perfect balance of stillness and movement together, where you can create whatever you want. This coexistence of opposites, stillness and dynamic at the same time, makes you independent of situations, circumstances, people, and things. When you quietly acknowledge this exquisite coexistence of opposites, you align yourself with the world of energy, the quantum soup, the non-material, non-stuff that is the source of the material world. This world of energy is fluid, dynamic, resilient, changing, forever in motion. And yet it is also non-changing, still, quiet, eternal, and silent. Stillness alone is the potential for creativity. Movement alone is creativity restricted to a certain aspect of its expression. But the combination of movement and stillness enables you to unleash your creativity in all directions, wherever the power of your attention takes you. Wherever you go in the midst of movement and activity, carry your stillness within you. Then the chaotic movement around you will never overshadow your access to the reservoir of creativity and the field of pure potential. Applying the law. I will put the law of pure potential into effect by making a commitment to take the following steps. 1, I will get in touch with the field of pure potential by taking time each day to be silent, to just be. I will also sit alone in silent meditation at least twice a day. I will take time each day to commune with nature and to silently witness the intelligence within every living thing. I will sit silently and watch a sunset or listen to the ocean. In the ecstasy of my own silence and by communing with nature, I will enjoy the life throb of ages, the field of pure potential, and unbound creativity. And lastly, I will practice non-judgment. I will begin my day with the statement, today I shall not judge anything that occurs. And throughout the day, I will remind myself not to judge. Coming back through center, finding any other movement your body needs. And we'll end this practice together in a shape that feels pleasant to your body, whether that's Shavasana, legs extended, lying on your back. You can find a seat, roll onto your side or your stomach. Where can you find stillness in your physical body? If it feels safe, you might bring a hand to your heart and a hand to your center. Simply observing. What is the quality of your breath? Does it feel warm or cool? Where do you notice it flowing in your chest, the center of your body, your belly? No matter what you notice about your breath, a moment of gratitude here for the fact that your body is supporting you one breath at a time. After every breath out, another breath in takes its place. You don't have to ask or remind your body to do this. It just simply provides in the background. So you can stay present and focused on just being. The beautiful thing about our breath is it gives us a focal point. It is a space where we can bring our mind and body both online. Because as we're witnessing now, our body's got us. It will continue to provide us with the breath that we need. But in moments where it feels supportive, safe, and helpful, we can ask our mind to come online and change the breath. So if you'd like to do that here with me today, we'll even out our inhale and exhale. You can use any number you'd like. I'm going to count with a 3 count. It'll go something like this. A breath in for 3, 2, 1. Breath out. 1, 2, 3. Breath in. 3, 2, 1. Breath out. 1, 2, 3. Inhale. Exhale. Continuing with this, or allowing your body to support you. You choose for the next moment. You can stay in the stillness and silence, connecting to body, breath, and mind for as long as you'd like. When you're ready to find the movement, do so slowly, wiggling your fingers and your toes. Letting this expand into circles with your wrist and your ankle. You might slowly move your head from side to side. Inching your way into a full body stretch or curling into a ball, either way, eventually making it onto one side of your body. And pressing your way into a seat. Building some trust with yourself here as you choose what's best for you. A moment in seated stillness or your own free movement, your choice for the next 5. As long as it feels safe in your body, there's not a right or a wrong way to move for the next 4. It doesn't matter what it looks like. Stay present with how it feels for the next 3. One breath at a time for the next 2. And 1. I'm going to close out with a community breath before